Why I'm not going to cook them all the way through, because they come back in here. But you want to get them cooked on all sides. Hey, Pim, where you from? What you drinking? Let me know how your holidays was. Mine was quiet. I did nothing. I was kind of bored in here. But sometimes quiet is better because it gives your brain time to think about what you got next, what's coming up next, what you want to do next. So that's kind of what I did, nothing. All right, so you guys see it's almost like a little gravy consistency at the bottom. So I'm going to take these bad boys off. This is almost like a 10-minute meal. Now, we're put in any kind of wine that you want. I'm using a wine that I don't like as a cooking wine. So this wine gets put in here. And then we're going to put in some garlic. If you guys can just smell all of this, Jesus. We're going to put in some garlic. I like a lot of garlic. And what we're going to do is reduce this down as much as we possibly can. And I'm going to put a little bit more butter in here. Hey, again, this is my twist on things. I know you guys are sick and tired of holiday food like black-eyed peas, cornbread, and kind of stuff. This is my first meal. Actually, no, not my first meal. I had a couple strips of bacon this morning. But this is my actual dinner, which, as you guys see, is just, and this is quick. So what we did so far for you guys that are just joining in, so we seared down some thin-cut chicken breasts. We dressed them in flour, put a little seasoning on them. And hey, season to your specifications. So I just have I call it my catch-all season with everything in there. I just don't have any salt in there. So what we're going to do is let this guy, as you guys can see, now you want this consistency. We're going to let it cook down a little bit and like when the alcohol stops smelling like alcohol, then you're good to go. But this is and then I'm going to put, for me, I like a little extra garlic. So I'm putting a little garlic paste in there. Again, this is my twist, so I can do whatever I want to, right? So Bal's twist. So we got garlic paste. We got white wine or rosé I put in here. And you guys see, this is starting to cook down. So it's not really going to thicken up. It's going to actually get to the very top of the garlic. And at that point, we're going to throw in some lemon juice, some capers, a little bit more butter. My battery. But I'm going to get through this before this battery go dead, I'll tell you that. Then we're going to, all right, so the next thing is, this is the next layer. Starting to cook down right where I want it. And then when it gets to the very, very end, you let it simmer. And then you have this amazing glaze that actually glazes over the chicken. So it's starting to go, at least simmer down to where I want it. If you guys can see it, you're starting to see the whole pieces of the garlic. That means it is actually cooking now. So when it gets to that point, trust the old lemon juice. We're going to put some lemon juice in there. I like a lot of extra lemon, so I'll put extra lemon in there. I love capers. When I say love capers, absolutely love capers. So we got capers. And somebody asked me, what are capers? Capers is like a perennial. It's a flower. And if you look it up, I actually pinned it so you guys can actually go back and check out. And what I'm going to try to do for each dish that I create is to give you guys the origin of that specific dish. That way you guys are more educated in terms of what is it that we're really eating and where does it come from and how do we come up with all these amazing recipes. I'm going to put a little bit more lemon juice in there. And again, I like lemon. Hey, make it your own. I keep telling you guys, these are just guides and you guys can make it your own. This is always my twist on things. The aroma that's coming from this. So now what it's doing is it's the capers are now, the aroma from the capers are starting to come up and marinate with the butter and with the wine and the garlic. And when I say it smells absolutely amazing, it smells amazing. Now we're going to take, I got some free range, low sodium, organic chicken broth that we're going to put in here. Now, this is where you got to be careful. You don't want to put too much liquid in here because your next step, let me wash these off real quick. Your next step is to put your chicken back in here. So if you guys see this, this is now like a little gravy, right? It's a very quick dish, and it's hot. It's hot in this kitchen. All right, we're going to put our chicken back in there. And all of these will fit back in there. You want to lay them as flat as you possibly can. And this is where it gets tricky, because what you want is to make sure that these guys are lightly covered. So most people will be like, hey, it's chicken cutlets. You can either cut them yourself, or if you're in the grocery store, they have it's called thin slice chicken breast. It's already done for you. So I actually don't need to do anything else. I did this almost perfect. Because what you want is, you want to barely to reach the top of your chicken, right? Can you guys hear that? Absolutely amazing. So we are almost at the finish line. And the very last thing that you do to this dish is we're going to put a top on it, let it simmer. Then I'm going to talk to you guys for a second. So you put on it, let it simmer. What it's going to do is thicken up. And at the very, very end, what you do is confuse the butter. And most people be like, how do you confuse the butter? You take some cold butter and you put it into the hot dish, and it's going to make like almost like a creamy sauce. It's going to marinate in here, and that's your finished dish. I already cooked my pasta. Then I'm going to show you guys how to plate it. All right, so I'm going to let you guys listen to Allie for 2 seconds while I get everything ready for plating. Well, apparently she don't want to play. All right, so this is cooking down. As you guys can probably see, it's almost like a gravy. You guys see this? This is exactly what you want. And when I say absolutely amazing, so we're going to take some of this. I thought Allie was going to play, but she wouldn't play. So, and we officially have our releases. So therefore, Facebook won't be harassing us, making us take them down. So we have our official release. So the music from Miss Allison Williams and Mr. Reggie Hines, we will be able to play in peace, if that makes sense. All right, so here we go. Hold on, I got to sneeze. What? Whew. All right, so again, we're in the finish line. This guy is almost done. We wanted to get a little bit thicker. But as you guys see, now it's getting a little browner, and this is the consistency that we want. Really, essentially, this is your dish. The last thing I said, you guys are gonna see me kind of shock the butter, if you will. I'm gonna say shock the gravy, if you will, with some cold butter, and then it's gonna get a little bit more creamier. And at the end, the very, very end, I'm gonna put some spinach in the middle. I'm not even gonna cook it. I'm gonna let this actually finish it off. And that's really our dish. I'm going to move some of this stuff out the way so I can get ready for plating. And you guys know how I do it. I plate it up. I try to make sure I show you guys proper plating. We'll do a lot more coming in the new year in terms of making sure we get show you guys the proper way to plate things, so you guys can be your own little chef in your house. Again, we're at the finish line. We only got 3 things left. So if you guys see this is exactly what you want. And if you don't have this kind of consistency, that means that you missed a step somewhere, somehow. But if you can see this is starting to get a little thicker. And I'll bring it closer so you guys can actually see what it needs to look like. But this thing is heavy. I always want to make sure that you guys can see. So if you guys can see that, that's what you want to look like. Yeah, this is heavy. Someone asked, what am I drinking? It's called Empress. So Empress is a Prosecco that we're actually going to pair this with today. Um, Prosecco, just an Italian sparkling. A lot of people say I can't remember the brand, but they got a brand that they sell at every grocery store. It has a blue label. I can't remember the name of it, though. All right, now it's almost time to shock this bad boy. Now, what does shocking mean? I'm going to take some cold butter. This is cold butter. We're going to take just a couple slices, throw it there, and you guys are going to see this get a little bit creamier. So if you watch this, you take that cold butter and shock your gravy. Turn this guy all the way down. And if you notice, it's going to slow the cooking process. And if you look at the gravy now, it's starting to get thicker because we're shocking it with this butter. In a restaurant, I would be using not this kind of pan. It won't be a non-stick pan. It would be a regular restaurant pan. And then you just use a spoon, just a regular spoon you got at home, and you throw the butter contents and all this goodness back over your chicken. But because these are my pots and I don't want to scratch them up, I'm not doing it. All right, so let's get some plating going. All right, so we're all done. I'm going to move this guy. I'm going to get a platter. Then we're going to plate, and then we're going to get up out of here and go eat this food. And I'll show you guys and do a quick recap right after that. So I'm going to use an oval one. That's because I want to keep all of my flavors in the middle. All right, so we have our pasta. And you guys will notice I cook a lot with my hands. But when it comes to pasta, because they're sticky and gooey, I don't want it in my fingernails. And if you're cooking, you know, the best thing to do, if you cook as much as I do, cut your nails. Keep them, because that's PC 101. When you're in different classes, they want you to keep your nails cut. All right, so we got pasta, fresh pasta. And this is a whole wheat pasta. So we want this pasta to kind of spread it all over the place. And this is good, like you got a bunch of friends that's coming over, a bunch of family. And then you make you a Parmesan garlic bread. This is absolutely amazing. All right, so we got a pasta in here. Next thing that's going to go is our chicken. If I figure out what I did with my tongues, there you go. All right, you take this glove off. Now, I'm going to put spinach right in the middle. You guys are going to be like, why are you doing cold spinach? Because spinach actually, when I put this hot chicken on it, it's actually going to start warming the spinach, and it's going to be at the perfect temperature that I want it to be. All right, so we got spinach in the middle. Now, let's dress with our good old chicken. Now, if you guys look at this, look at that. That's what you want. So we're going to dress this guy. Best way to do it, put them long ways, and pray to God no slide off. And this is almost a perfect set of chicken. Then, as we always do, I'm going to do something about, you guys know how I do it. To keep everything in line. And if you notice that spinach is already starting to warm down. All right, y'all ready for the grand finale? Grand finale. Then we're going to get up out of here. We're going to bring all of these goodness this way. We got our Empress here. We got my glass there. We got my candle. And then I'm going to bring this whole platter up so you guys can see it. And here we go. You guys ready? Are y'all ready? Here we go. So you take all of this goodness and you're going to pour it straight down the center. Straight down the center of your dish. Hey, this is a 5-star dish. You can go to Maggiano's or any of these other places that has it. This is what you're going to get. 5 stars. Cost. I didn't even have to go to the grocery store. This is stuff I already had in the house. Because I refuse to go out the house. Because tomorrow, we all are back. Most people are back at their regular schedule program as I and my entire team actually returns to work. And I know they're excited. Can't you tell? Hey, so this is our finished dish. You guys just saw the 5-star meal for all of $9, because that's how much the chicken costs. So this is our finished dish. So if you guys see that, there we go. Chicken Piccata. You can find it at most places like Maggio's. Most Italian places have it. And we had Empress as our drink for today. Hey, this is your favorite chef. I'll make sure I pinned all the ingredients. I will actually go back and do a recap. So all we had was chicken breast, some white wine, some rosé. I actually used some spinach, some garlic, some seasoning that I threw together, some butter, some lemon juice, and some chicken broth. That's it. That's all. I'm your favorite chef. I look forward to seeing you guys and coming in your kitchen this year. It's been great. Cheers to all my top followers. You guys are showing out. I got a lot of new followers that just came aboard. Welcome aboard. Hey, welcome into my home. Welcome into my kitchen. We got a lot of good stuff going on in 2023. I will see you guys soon. Peace out.